Today we're going to be working on Leetcode question number 9090, subsets part 2. We have been given an integer array nums that may contain duplicates. Return all possible subsets, the power set. The solution must not contain duplicate subsets. Okay, return a solution in any order. So if we have 1, 2, 2, we're going to be returning an empty, then 1, then 2, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, and then 2, 2. Okay. First of all, because we want to avoid the duplication in our subsets, what we're going to be doing here is to sort the input array. So for that we can just say the nums is equal to the nums dot sort a and b are provided, and what we are going to be returning is a minus b. So basically sort them by like increasing order. Okay, once we have that, the other thing is that our result at the beginning is just gonna be an empty array. Then we're gonna have a helper function. So for there, helper function is gonna have so the helper function is gonna take the basically it's gonna take the a length, like what is the current length, right, and then start, and if it is not being sent, it's gonna be equal to 0. If it's gonna be uh, like it's gonna default to 0, and the last thing we wanna be sending to this helper function is the array, which is gonna be, it's gonna default to, and it's gonna default to an empty array. So that's gonna be a helper function. The way we're gonna be calling this helper function is, so we're gonna say that let the length is equal to 0, and then the length less than equal to the nums dot length, and then we're gonna say length plus plus, and every single time we're gonna be calling the helper function with the length. So basically every single time we're calling the helper function with length, and then the start being equal to 0 and an empty array, and in the end we're gonna be returning the result. What the helper function is gonna be doing is basically gonna be checking if the array dot length is equal to the length. If that is the case, we're gonna populate our result by pushing the array dot slice, and then we're gonna be returning. If that is not the case, we're gonna say that for let I is gonna start from start, and then I is less than the nums dot length, and then I plus plus. And now we want to make sure that we are not using the duplicate, so we're gonna say that the I is not equal to start. The I is not equal to start, and the nums of I minus 1 is basically equal to the nums of I. In that case, we're gonna continue, because we're gonna be sure that that will generate a duplicate. Okay, otherwise we're gonna say array dot push. So it's basically adding it to array, calling the recursive function and removing it from the array. nums of I, helper length I plus 1, and the array, and then removing it. Yeah, so every single time we're going to be adding testing the num by putting it into the array, calling the recursive function and removing it from the array. That looks good. Yep, and it passed all the test cases.